Santa Rosalita is a tiny fishing village on the Pacific coast, about 400 miles south of the U.S.-Mexico border. There's not much going on here as night falls on a recent weekday evening, just a few dirt bikers roaring around and surfers catching the day's final waves. But only 5 years ago, this town was bustling with construction. I'm standing in the middle of what was supposed to be the start of a huge development project in Baja California. It was going to be a marina filled with boats, and it was going to be the first step in the nautical staircase, which was a string of marinas that the federal government had planned for along the coast of Baja California and the Sea of Cortez. And as you can see, it's completely filled with sand and abandoned. The failed nautical staircase project has become the poster child for overambitious development dreams in Baja California.
It was planned with the expectation that the real estate was going to continue growing. So I would say, well, let's put some marinas in key places because we are developing the entire coast. So eventually we'll have thousands of people with yachts coming to Baja California.
During its recent boom years, many Mexican developers and Americans in search of a plot of paradise invested in Baja California's miles and miles of unspoiled, breathtaking coastline. Now many are saddled with half-finished condos and acres of remote land with no electricity or water. But some people aren't all that upset about the development freeze.
Definitely, obviously, the downturn in the economy has been a positive boon for the Baja natural resources. When the Baja boom was happening, literally it seemed like conservationists were fighting all kinds of projects, from a plethora of liquefied natural gas terminal proposals, from marina development projects, from high-rise development projects and mega resorts.
A lot of that has come to a halt, and thanks to the slowdown, Wild Coast and other conservation groups have been able to buy up discounted coastal land from speculators who once hoped to make a fortune selling beachfront real estate. They're establishing conservation easements on private land, and they're working with the Mexican government to form new protected areas.
So in places like San Ignacio Lagoon, Magdalena Bay, the corridor between Loreto and La Paz, and then the Central Pacific coast, we've been able to really proactively preserve a lot of world-class coastal biodiversity areas. There are areas where gray whales go and where you see whale sharks, real world-class, Africa-style wildlife destinations. So that's really exciting.
About 4 hours north of Santa Rosalita is San Quintin Bay. It's an internationally recognized wetlands area. Tens of thousands of migratory water birds winter here. And clams and oysters are abundant.
It's one of the last wetlands in North America with, I would say, 80-90% of the habitat is still in good shape.
The local government hoped this fragile bay would also house a marina and become a step on the nautical staircase. A mega resort and golf course were also on the drawing board. But now the Mexican conservation group Terra Peninsular is coordinating with the government to establish a federal biosphere reserve on nearly 300,000 acres here. It's also working with local farmers to establish land use plans and sustainable agricultural practices. Of course, development brought much-needed money into this region, and with that money gone, conservationists are hurting too.
I mean, nonprofits too depend on donations. It depends on grants to be able to do their work. When the development pressures go down, the money for conservation also goes down.
Back in Santa Rosalita, locals say the jobs and income promised by the marina could have been good for the town. Even though it's not likely to ever be operational, the marina project did bring electricity and a paved road. Oh, and a few surfing tourists. The marina breakwall created a nice new wave. Now, local fishermen are brainstorming ideas for what to do with this sandy corral.
Algo de cultivos sería algo muy especial que se pudiera.
Some kind of farm. It would be really special if we could do that kind of work there. For example, an abalone or fish farm. Why not? It's really interesting, and I think we have a very interesting place to do it.
Transform a failed marina into a fish farm? Why not? Baja's isolated residents are used to making something out of what appears to be a waste.